Hi everyone, this is Plug Spinner, and today we're going to be picking this Medeco 51S Biaxial Mortise cylinder. So in order to pick this, first what we do is we will pick all the pins to the shear line, just like any other pin tumbler, and then we will have to address turning the pins, each pin, to a specific degree to allow a sidebar to fall into the plug, which will in turn allow the core to rotate. So you might see a split in the video around now, depending on how many tries this takes me. But from the point I begin picking to the end of the gutting will be one continuous video. Just so that you know there's no funny business. Okay. So if you do see a split, it will be right now. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and try to pick all the pins to the shear line first. I'm just going to zip out the pick a few times to kind of mix up the orientation of those pins. Okay, and now we will begin. Okay, I think everything's to the shear line, so now we're going to try to rotate the pins to the correct angles so that the sidebar can fall into the plug and allow it to rotate. So to do that, I'm just going to take my pick and tilt it either to the right or to the left, depending on which direction I'm trying to go with the pin, and then like gently combing out of the lock. And if you hear this clicking, that's me moving back and forth on each pin to see if it is bound up or not. When it's clicking like that, it usually means it is it's already in the correct position and you don't need to manipulate it. So yeah, we're gonna go up and down the pin stack, trying to see which ones are binding and rotate them. And then when we have all of them set, we should get an open. And sometimes when you're rotating the pins, you have to release the tension quite a bit. So some of the key pins might fall below the shear line again, in which case you just have to pick them again before you start rotating. So you might see me going back and forth between picking and rotating. I'm sure there are better ways to do this or better tools to use, but my tools are limited, so we're just going to try to use what we have. Oh, and we got it open. Okay, so as you can see, we're now open. So I'm going to lock it back up I'm going to take out the pins from the top here, and then I will take out the plug with the sidebar. Okay, so we're locked back up. Let's get the pinning tray. And we will start with the first chamber. Okay. I'm just gonna put all the grub screws over here. So here we go in the first chamber. We got our key pin. I'll try to position it so you can see the gates when I do a close-up. Okay, and that is a standard driver pin. Let's go to the second one. Okay. In the second one, we have, let's see, a mushroom pin. All right. Third chamber. Okay. The third one is a standard driver. Chamber 4. Okay. Chamber 5. Okay. Oops. Chamber 5 is a standard. And let's see the last chamber. All right, last chamber is another mushroom. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and disassemble the rest of the lock, including the sidebar. And then at the end, I'll give you a close-up of everything. Okay, so we got 2 screws in the back here. All right, that's off. This little plate comes off. The actuator. And then at this point, just gonna try to turn the core a little bit. Okay. And we're gonna gently pull this out and try to keep that sidebar from flying out. There might be some anti-drill plates that fall out as well. Okay. There it was, right behind me. Okay, so we have these little crescent drill plates that protect the key pins as well as the sidebar. And right here, you can see we have a sidebar in here. Let me get it out. It's a little stuck. These are spring loaded. If I can get it out. Okay, we got that out. As you can see, there's these two little, these two things are just little springs that go in the sidebar when it's installed. So this is the plug if you're interested. It has some anti-drill features. That's where the sidebar goes, and that's where the pins go. And that is it. So I'm gonna just move these around so you can actually see the cuts in the key pins. Then I'll give you a close-up and we will be finished. Okay. All right, good enough. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, each pin has a deep cut, that is the true gate, and there's also a little shallow gate next to the deep gates. Sometimes it's further away from the gate, sometimes it's closer, whatever. But yeah, so the reason you're rotating the pins is so that the sidebar, these little notches on the top, can slip in to the pins, and then it will allow the sidebar to go into this little cutout, which will in turn allow the plug to spin. So that is the whole video for you. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure there are more gracious ways of getting into these locks rather than just flicking back and forth to position the pins. I know some people get into these much quicker, but this is my first one and the strategy seemed to work. So for now, that's what we will continue with and hopefully refine it so that we can get into a wider variety of these in the future. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and have a nice day. Thank you.